Hi, and welcome to It Figures. So tonight I'm going to be reviewing something a little different. I'm going to take a look at two figures from the Looney Tunes Golden Collection, starting with Bugs Bunny and then Elmer Fudd. So these came out quite a long time ago, around 2003. And as you can see, it says create a scene figure, which means both of these figures create a scene when put together. And all the Looney Tunes Golden Collection are like this. First of all, I can say I got this at a local toy convention we have here called the Toy Man Show. And being a huge fan of Looney Tunes and of course Bugs Bunny and Elmer Fudd, I had to pick this up. Plus, the figures come from my wife's favorite animated short called What's Opera, Doc? As you can see, the box that I bought here is a little damaged because I did get it at the toy show, which is okay because I really wasn't going for the box anyway, but for the figure. And the box itself isn't all that impressive. I mean, it's okay to show off the figure, and you can see some of the other figures in Series 1 on the back. One of the new things I'm going to do on It Figures is I am going to incorporate the price of the figure into the final score. By that I mean I'm going to see if the figure actually justifies the price tag. I did not pay full price for this because it was at the toy convention, so I only paid 10 bucks for Bugs Bunny. So I've been waiting to open him up for a really long time, so let's get right into it. So on the inside of the packaging, we have quite a lot of ties holding Bugs Bunny and all of the accessories in. Also, be careful, you do not want to tear the backdrop, which is sort of glued in a plastic bag on the back of the box. Because of all the small, complex items that came with Bugs, it took a while for me to get him out of the package. And one thing that I thought I had lost was a peg that goes into the bottom of his foot here, because he will not stand up on his own, as I found out, and I thought I had lost this peg, or it didn't come with it. But in fact it did come with it, and it was taped to the side of the package. So if anyone gets this figure, be very careful that you don't throw the package away, because you really need this plastic peg here to get Bugs to stand on the platform. Alright, so now that we've got all the parts out of the package and put together, let's take a look at What's Opera, Doc? First, I can tell you I'm a huge fan of Looney Tunes characters, and I've never really owned sort of the well-detailed figures from the line. And as you can see, the sculpting of this figure is pretty amazing. The detail on Bugs Bunny is fantastic. Looks like he just walked right off the cartoon. On his back, he has his tail and even the pigtails coming out from the helmet. His one hand is open, while his other hand is holding the scarf. The base he is standing on is just as well detailed and painted as he is. Check out the great sculpt from the cushions in the couch, with the tassels hanging off the side. The only strange thing on this entire base are the weird rubber flowers on both sides. Those are only okay, I guess. So as for articulation, Bugs does have some, but as this is pretty much a statue, I love the pose he is in, and I doubt I would change it. However, his arms do move, but not a whole lot. They just kind of move back and forth. His waist does turn, and you can bend him up and down, and his head does rotate, but not a lot. Like I said, this is more or less supposed to be a statue and not a moving figure. But it's nice they give it some articulation anyway. So even though I've considered the base and the couch accessories, it still comes with more stuff. If you don't like the arms he comes with, he does come with an alternative set. There is also this, and it is made out of cardboard, but it's thick, heavy-duty cardboard. And of course they give you the stand to put the sign in. So another big accessory here is a cardboard background, and like the sign, it's real thick cardboard. It doesn't bend easily, so you don't have to worry about creasing it. But this will go into the base for a cool backdrop for the figure. And not only do you have one side, you also have a second side, which is absolutely cool. And this slides right into the back of the slot in the base. So now you have a complete scene right out of the What's Opera, Doc cartoon. And now let's move on to Elmer Fudd. The packaging on Elmer is exactly like Bugs, so we'll not bore you with it. However, I had to get Elmer off of eBay, so he was a lot more expensive than Bugs was. If I remember correctly, I paid around $30 or $35 for Elmer. And just like Bugs, be careful, do not throw away this peg, or Elmer will not stand on his own. Just like Bugs Bunny, be prepared to take some time getting Elmer out of the packaging because there's a lot of little parts you don't want to break. So just like Bugs Bunny, Elmer Fudd is a dead-on likeness. I absolutely love the expression on his face. One thing I should have pointed out on Bugs Bunny that I'll point out here is his face is molded in a soft plastic, but his body armor is actually hard plastic. So the paint and detail here are also fantastic. Now Elmer's base isn't as detailed as Bugs's was. Basically you have a rabbit hole and a stone behind him with some footprints on it. And if you take a look at this base, there's a hole here on top and there's another small hole over here on the side, which I will get to in a minute. But the one on top is for another place for Elmer to stand. So if you did not want him to stand down here, you can actually put him up on the wall, where actually he does stand a lot better than he does on the base. The other thing I should point out here on Elmer is his helmet does not come off, which is a little disappointing because it kind of looked like from the package that it would come off, but it's permanently attached. And it's really hard to see in this light, but he has a lot of depth inside of his mouth. So he comes with the same exact sign as Bugs Bunny, but I didn't really take too much of a detailed look at it. But as you can see, it has a lot of cool details on the sign. And he also comes with two alternative hands. One is sort of like giving a stop sign signal, and the other is a fist that will hold another accessory, which is his spear. Now there isn't a whole lot of detail on the spear, but it's cool. And the last accessory Elmer comes with is a lightning bolt, which is really awesome. Actually, that's not his last accessory. I forgot about the background. Just like Bugs, he does come with a cool backdrop that has two sides as well. So before I put everything together on this base, I wanted to point out one really cool feature about it. You turn it upside down, it has a small drawer that pulls out that you can put the accessories in. How awesome is that? So you remember that hole I was telling you about in the base? Well, that is for the lightning bolt. So it fits in there just like that, and you can see it over the backdrop. Being that I wanted Elmer to hold the spear, I am just going to pull his arm off and replace it with the other one. So here they are together, and they look fantastic. Elmer does have articulation in his feet, his waist, and his head, but just like Bugs, it's meant to be more of a statue. So let's bring up the old Figglemeter and see how Elmer and Bugs stack up. So you do get a lot for the price that you're paying for these figures. You can probably find them on eBay now between $30 to $35, which is a little high, but you do get a lot for your money. So I won't take any points off for the price because I think you do get a lot for what you're paying for. So in all, as a big Looney Tunes fan, I absolutely love these figures, and I will probably pick up some more in the future. But for now, both of them get a 5 out of 5. Absolutely fantastic figures. So if you liked tonight's episode of Hit Figures, remember, subscribe, and we also now have a new Facebook. So please go on there and like it. You will find it in the description below. And I shall see you next time.